Hello, Maverick traders. Welcome out to your currency recap. It's October 21st. Corey here with you. So, we're always going to take a look at news that's moving the markets. We're going to look at where the momentum is or is not and try to find the very best setups in crypto land, try to find the very best setups in Forex pairs.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
So, the markets certainly lack a certain level of volatility, velocity, whatever you want to call it. There's just not a lot of momentum. Equities were flat on the day. Now, it was a little bit worse than it appeared on the surface. If you look at equal weight S&P, the Russell 2000, we were down about 1.5%, and bond yields moved sharply higher. So, my thought is we're going to get a little bit more risk off in equity land and in the bond market for this week. A little bit more selling to come. Could there be a couple of ugly days mixed in there? Yeah, I don't think that necessarily derails the uptrend, but expect a little bit more weakness in stocks. Now, as far as currencies, US dollar is really where it's at. If you're talking about momentum, US dollar has it. Everything else lacks it. And we'll go through some charts to show that. Crypto down 2.6, that's nothing in crypto land, right? That's a yawn. Oil was up nicely at 1.7. One could argue that oil up sharply is actually bad for the economy, bad for stocks, etc. Now, I don't think it's a worry right here with oil down at $70 a barrel. We're not really worried about oil prices, but historically, if they were to go sharply, markedly higher, that would become an economic concern. Crypto, like we said, nothing too major. Certainly, Litecoin was the weakest of them. They had a nice run 1 week ago. So I do these on Mondays, and we talked about crypto had more upside. I think all four of these went a bit higher throughout last week. They did give back some of that today, which we were only calling for a little more follow through, a couple more days or a few more periods of upside. Now, if you look at equities, they still look great. I mean, if you were to give this a grade, we're above a 20, above a 50, upward sloping, just recently made new highs. Nothing too major here, but with uptrends, you'll often get pullbacks like this. And so I would anticipate a little bit more of a pullback. Nothing too major right now. We'll assess when it's happening, but expect a couple more days of selling here. We just passed monthly options expiration. So for any of our option traders, that's kind of a key event. It was actually triple witching. We passed a few expirations. So that's usually when things can give some ground. If you look at Canada, that will be in focus if you're playing the Canadian dollar. The Bank of Canada is expected to cut rates by 50 basis points on Wednesday. We get some PMI numbers out of France, Germany, even here in the US, but nothing too big from that standpoint. It's a quiet week for economics, but Bank of Canada certainly a big event for the Canadian dollar. Now, if we look at currencies, this basically says don't trade. This is a lack of volatility and momentum, and most of the charts have that. Not a real clear direction, not a lot of momentum, but there's an outlier over here, and it's US dollar. And it's really the only one that has some velocity behind it. So the question mark is, well, what do we pair it up with? If we buy US dollars, do we short the Aussie? Do we short the Japanese yen? Those would be likely candidates. Maybe the CAD. Maybe the CAD gets some momentum to the downside on its rate cuts later this week. We'll see. But right now, the US dollar stands alone. So possible trades are really the US dollar long. If you look at this chart versus the other currency, it has the criteria we're looking for momentum. Higher highs and higher lows, up above parabolic SARs, upward sloping moving averages, upward sloping RSIs and so forth. It has the criteria to be a nice upside trade. One could already be in this from the past couple of hours because that was really the breakout point. But in terms of trading, I think you stay long US dollars. It's really a debate as to what you short against it. That's what's going to be the trickier part of this trade. Pick your spots and try to find whichever one of those currencies really starts to gain some velocity to the downside. We've probably got a trade opportunity. So, again, not a lot of volatility in crypto or Forex right here, right now, but Bank of Canada meeting on Wednesday and continue to look at US dollar on the upside. I think that move in yields supports a higher USD for the foreseeable future. Hope you enjoyed today's currency recap. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.